We're really excited to have on this segment with us Mark Henderson. Mark, you've had kind of different roles in the media landscape here in Worcester and Central Mass for a number of years.
Yeah.
Long period of time, an employee of the Telegram and Gazette, started up online and newspaper, learned a lot from that, and have created something that has really, I think, captured people's attention. And if our viewers have not taken advantage of it, the 016.com. And maybe you could give our viewers a quick synopsis of it. But I love the quote that your vice president and business partner, Kevin Maher, said the 016 is a delivery boy and booster for local media.
Yeah.
So how is it, what do you deliver?
So what we do is we deliver basically all the news and information that we can find that's pertinent to Worcester, and that can be anything. It can be news that the city is releasing, news that newspapers are releasing, news that local businesses have. So we've basically created a local platform that has everything. That was able to cover everything kind of soup to nuts and tell the story of Worcester the way we think it can be told. And we said, if we can do that, is there an audience for that? And so far what we've seen is it's been a resounding yes. The audience has responded incredibly well to this. So
I want to just break it down for our viewers who might not know about the 016. So literally, you and your team, you pick, say, the Telegram and Gazette. You might pick the 2 or 3 articles that you think are really newsworthy, breaking news or significant. And then you'll look at the Worcester Business Journal. You'll view what's on Channel 4, 5, and 7. New England Cable News. If there's a national story that relates to Worcester, Central Mass, you'll kind of aggregate those stories and be the one place where people can come to learn about major things that are happening.
And major, and it can be minor things too. It's one of the great things about the platform that we've been able to create is it can hold everything, right? So it can be something about a convenience store opening or changing its hours to a story that's written about Worcester by the New York Times, right? And everything in between. So our goal is to tell the story, is to be able to have one place where we can tell the story of Worcester, and that can be any number of however that story is being told. Is it video? Is it audio? Is it text? How photos? Any way that story is being told, we can share that with the reader.
And there's been a national conversation, and you've been kind of mentioned in it on a couple of instances. But clearly there are news deserts. And one of the things that Worcester challenges that in Central Mass has is that we don't have affiliate TV stations. Clearly, the Telegram Gazette, while the reporters are continuing to work hard and do good work, the staff is not as big. How they're trying to deliver it is not unlike other newspaper organizations that they're trying to move from print to electronic. And that transition creates uncertainty. There's maybe less news, but people crave it. And you have been able to really, through this platform, and we'll talk about that, on a daily basis, people can almost get kind of all the relevant stories or things that they want to get more interested in, sports or arts and culture or dining, but you have the main menu of kind of major stories.
And that's one of the things that we saw is that as there are people creating news everywhere, right? The Chamber creates news. The Channel 3 has a great news gathering operation. And rather than for the reader, what they'll first notice is the convenience. Right? Is that they'll get all this stuff. And what we saw is that in the social media space, that nobody was seeing all the stuff that they really wanted to see. It was very, very difficult. So what we did is first say, let's focus on the reader and create a convenience for the reader. And then it sprouted off from that to, okay, now let's work with local media companies to help them get their word out more consistently. Let's work with local businesses to get their story out more, and if we do all this, will the readers respond, and can we make a business out of it? And, I think overwhelmingly so far, knock on wood, the answer has been yes.
And I just want to acknowledge in the way that you've stepped up. I mean, certainly Charter TV has expanded their news staff.
Absolutely.
And they've kind of looked to try to help tell these stories that are so important, and many of their stories via video. So if people maybe missed the Charter TV news, the next day they can get a segment that may have been covering an important event in the region or the city, or the coverage that they did on firefighter. Worcester firefighter Lieutenant Jason Menard. If people didn't watch, the whole funeral or the services, can watch that and hear that story. So it really is important that we have vehicles to tell those local stories. Charter TV does that, but you're able to do that. Now, if I'm someone out there and I'm a subscriber, this doesn't cost anything.
No, not at all.
And how do they, 016.com, what do they need to do? And how can they access this?
They register like it's a social media site, like they were going to Facebook or Twitter. All they have to do is register. And what happens after
they register by going to 016.com.
The 016.com.
They put in their email address.
And
then every day you deliver it, usually between 5 and 6 in the morning.
Yes.
An email
where
they can click on and read a whole cross-section of stories or watch videos of the Charter TV News, or if there's another national station or affiliate in Boston doing a Worcester story, they can watch that.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's one of the things that we saw, is that it's never been easier in the digital space to create a story, but it's in the local area, it's never been harder to get that in front of an audience. So in working with our media partners and with businesses, that's what we say, that's what our secret sauce is. We can tell their stories and get them in front of an audience, because there's an audience out there that craves it.
And so people are voting with their feet, or voting. You just talk about the number of people that are hitting 016, and then subsequently actually getting the media organizations are getting extra exposure through your platform.
Exactly. So we meet with media companies all the time, and we say, we're just here to deliver you clicks, and they don't believe us. Okay, wait a minute, what's the hook? It's like, there is no hook. Is that you guys have stories, everybody has stories that they want to tell, and nobody can get a consistent audience in the digital space. We can do that.
So you're not competing, you're not supplanting, you're just providing, let's use a word a phrase that everyone, one-stop shopping.
One-stop shopping, it's a convenience for the reader, and it's a convenience for, so we actually looked at this and said, if we do this properly, it's a win across the board. It's a win for the local businesses who choose to engage us, to work with us, our advertisers and sponsors, to get the word out. It's a win for our media partners, whose stories that we're getting in front of people on a consistent basis. And most importantly, it's a win for the reader, who now can go and see all the stuff that's happening, or all the stories that are being told about Worcester on any given day.
Right. And the other piece to this is, we're excited to be one of your media partners. At the Chamber, we've got our TV show, we've got our radio show, we have the newspaper, very active in our social media platforms. We do about 200 events a year. Oftentimes, business leaders, government leaders come at our events, and they tell stories and break news.
Break news,
And while we work with a lot of the various media organizations and invite them to attend many of our events, we also report as well to our members and to the broader public things that not just affect the business community, but kind of economic development in the region. And you've been a great vehicle, and we're excited to partner with you to be one of those partners.
Well, thank you. And we're excited too, because here's the thing. I mean, we, on this level, we have a similar objective, right? We're here to tell the stories of the local businesses and the local community, right? You're focused on business, we focus on, so it really works, is that to create that sense of community. Worcester is a thriving city right now. It's a growing, thriving city, and it deserves the people really want to find out what's going on. And one of the things that we've been heartened with is, yes, we've done a great job in this Worcester and getting the word out in Worcester, and people are signing up, but Worcester as a center of gravity is growing. So we're very proud that we've been able to have people, hundreds of people sign up from Boston. They want to find out what's going on in Worcester, and all the way out to Springfield.
So if you can, I mean, lots of people are on 016.com.
We're closing in on 8,000 people. 8,000 people that we've had sign up and register. There's a lot of stuff that we have who people just come to the homepage and they don't want to register, but they want to see what's going on every day. So we're okay with that too. We'd like to have them register so they can opt out and opt out of, I don't want to know about bars and bands, but I want to know about dining out. They just can come in any time that they're looking for whatever type of information they're looking for. They can customize their customize their news to them, which is why we ask them to register.
And in order for you to kind of feed yourself and the staff, there's advertising opportunities, and part of that is people come on and watch and video, and they want to come onto the site. So part of the way that you can monetize this so that you can pay your staff, but also reinvest in the technology that's more user-friendly.
Exactly.
How can people get in touch with you to learn about advertising?
Yeah, you can just go to the 016 and you can tag us up. You can tag us up and just even post on there, and we'll see it. And again, our goal has been to say have the conversations with people we call advertisers and sponsors, but we say, I don't want your ads, I want your news. Every local business is creating news. They're doing great things and they want to get their word out. And that's our job, is to help them tell their stories and do it in a cost-effective way. So yes, we do have to pay the bills. We have to turn the lights on, and we have to eat. So what we say is, but we'll do this, and we'll give you an audience that is a local audience, is an engaged audience locally, and this is an audience that really wants to. Just like you want to tell the stories of the businesses, the chamber members, we're telling the story of the businesses that choose to work with us. That's one of the things that we do.
Right. And so the technology, the delivery, anything you're working on, you want to kind of give a heads up on, or just what have you learned through this process?
What we've learned is, we cobbled together a number of different technologies to build this. Some of it's our own technology, but we're building this as a entire suite that we can take out. And we've already started having conversations with potential media partners in other cities who basically say, we want the same thing down here. They understand I'm a former journalist, so I'm not competing. I'm just there to deliver them an audience. So we're hopeful that what we can do is, over time, get to the point where we're comfortable enough with our technology and we're learning things all the time, is that we can then take this out and go out and 4 or 5 other cities in New England and kind of prove this, because we think that this can work. This can work nationwide.
Yeah. So, communities that may have a multitude of blessings with daily newspapers and affiliate TV stations. There's a space there for them too.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is, particularly could be something that could be replicated in other parts of the country in terms of areas that, may not have that major news presence. Help facilitate that information sharing, that storytelling, which is really critical to a region's identity and community conversation.
Yeah, and we're very excited about being in Worcester. We want to, we aspire to be, one of Worcester's great, next great stories and corporations. Here is being able to build something that could scale nationwide and have it do it right from here, right from Worcester, which we think would be great, and it would help, and it helps media solve a problem in where everybody says that there are news deserts and the media has a trouble making that transition to digital. If we can provide a little answer, and that answer resides in Worcester, then we think it's good for everybody and it's good for the city. Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, keep up the good work with the 016.com, and again, urge our viewers to go on 016.com, put your email address in there, and you'll be getting the daily news, if you will, from a cross-section of news organizations and community and media partners. So we're thrilled to be working with them as well. As we close, want to thank Mark, our guest, and thank our sponsors, Worcester Regional Airport and Worcester Railers Hockey Club, for making Chamber Exchange a TV show happen.